Welcome everyone to lecture number 21. In this lecture we are going to discuss about federal and unitary features of the Indian Union. Why Indian Union? Because India is a union of states. So now we'll understand like what exactly this term, the unitary features of the India mean. So USA, when we compare with the USA is a federation. Federation, what exactly is this federation? This federation is an agreement. Agreement between whom? Agreement between the different states, and states have the right to secede from the union. Even that state have the power, state are independent to uh, to uh, to be away from, they can take an independent decision, and they can leave unification of United States of America as well. From the union they can also get removed as per their own decision. So that's what it is, a union of states. But that kind of thing is not possible in the Indian constitution has the features, but Indian constitution, and another important feature, like Indian constitution has the features of a federal and unitary form of government, and unitary form of government. Okay, now what exactly this federal features mean, we'll discuss it here. What exactly this federal features mean, we'll discuss it here. So distribution of, there is a we already have discussed in short form, but now we are completing those concepts. So distribution of powers is there, distribution of power between union and states, and that has been made as per the three lists. Made as per the three list. And what are the three list? Union, state, and concurrent list. Okay, that is the one important feature. The union government as well as the state government have to function strictly in accordance with the constitution only, and they can neither alter the distribution of power nor override the dictates of the constitution. They don't have that power to do it. Constitution is the supreme, constitution is the law of land. Indian constitution is entirely written, and amendment to it must by this it is Indian constitution is entirely written. Okay, and now an amendment to it, if there is a requirement of amendment, if there is a requirement of amendment, then it must it must affect the federal structure, and it must be as if there is requirement of amendment, so it means like it is going to affect existing federal structure. Okay, now what this mean, it means like whatever the amendment we are going to make, it must be ratified by at least half of the state legislatures, at least half of the state legislatures. Okay, so we have understood like distribution of power is there, and Indian constitution entirely written, so amendment will be gone through. If there is any amendment, so it is going to affect the federal structure, and if it is going to federal structure, so thus it need to be rectified by the half of the states. And like other federal states, our country also has an independent judiciary as an essential feature. And we already have discussed there are other aspects which are independent, like judiciary, comptroller and auditor general, then chief election commission and public service commission. So these are the four um, independent um, hands in the constitution. Okay, now we'll discuss about these were the federal features, and we have already discussed the 5 tests about the federal features in the starting of the lecture. You can go through it. Now, unitary features of the Indian Constitution. What are the unitary features? Okay, first, in federation, people enjoy dual citizenship, that of the center and state to which they belong. But Indian Constitution only allows single. Indian Constitution only allows single citizenship. No state citizenship will be there. States have domiciles, but no citizenship. Okay. Other federal countries have they have a dual citizenship. Like one is for the states and another is for the country. But no, India. When we want to reflect that India has a union feature, in that case, we'll show that India has a single citizenship, even though it have multiple states. It has multiple states. The most important subjects are included in the most important subjects are under union list. Okay, and union list which means which is allocated to center, like a central government. Now the center can legislate on the subject on the concurrent list, where a state can also legislate. Center can legislate on concurrent list. Now the center can legislate on the subject of concurrent list, but one more important thing, very important stuff, is that whenever the residuary power is there, if there is any power which is left, which is neither mentioned under a state list or union list or concurrent list, so in that case it will go into the hand of central government. But that decision, if it is challenged, so with the decision will be taken by the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court will take decision will be the final. So judiciary plays important role here. So residuary powers power belongs to center, but Supreme Court decisions will be final in case of any dispute. Supreme Court decision will be final in case of any of dispute, that is judicial supremacy. Okay, now single constitution framework has been provided for the center as the state. So center and state both have a same constitution, which was presented. Final reading happened on the 26th November 1949 and came into force on 26th January 1950, which is celebrated as the Republic Day. Okay, and this date was taken just because of the force of the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, because 10 years back they pledged that we will get the independence on that day, but they didn't it was not successful. Thus they decided to make this 26 January 1950 as their uh, as their what Independence Day, sorry, Republic Day. Not 10 years, it is 20 years, I guess. It is 1930. uh, it is on 1930, 26 January 1930. I guess on that Swaraj, like that, Jawaharlal Nehru decided to um, celebrate on that day. Okay, yeah, we'll check on this thing. uh, I have to check on that stuff. So the proclamation of national emergency can immediately turn the federal system into a unitary one. So whenever there is a national emergency, then it can turn federal to unitary government. Okay, in a federation, each state should get equal representative irrespective of their size or population in federation government. But in Rajya Sabha, but in Rajya Sabha in India, states are states are represented on the basis of population, represented on the basis of population. Besides, the president had the power to nominate 12 members to Rajya Sabha. President had extra power to nominate 8 members to the Rajya Sabha. Okay. Now, the governor of the state are appointed by the president. The governor of each state, governor of the state are appointed by the president, and they continue to hold the office on the pleasure of president. So if president want, they can remove the governor on their will, on his will. But yes, president also works upon the aid and advice of the council of ministers, cabinet, that is cabinet. Okay, on the aid and advice of the prime minister. So yes, a governor works upon the pleasure of the president. And Indian constitution provide for a single judiciary, a single system of civil and criminal law, command all India service. Okay, all India service, that is a single judiciary, that is Supreme Court, then High Court, then subordinate courts, and Supreme Court will be the highest. Supreme Court will be the highest, then your High Court, and this is your, okay. And the last part, the authority of the Comptroller and Auditor General and Chief Election Commission uniformly prevails over the, that is CAG, and your Chief Election Commissioner uniformly prevails over the union as well as states. Okay, as we already discussed that who are independent. And yes, regarding this 1930, that's on 26 January 1930, Purn Swaraj was declared by the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and after 20 years, that's why like on that day we failed to take independence. So that's why on that day, this 26 June 1930, Purn Swaraj was declared. So after 20 years, we achieved our target. So that's why this 26 January 1950 was taken. I remember in one of my previous video when I was teaching this, I have mentioned the both the things dates are correct. 26 January 1950 and 26 January Purn Swaraj date as the 26 January 1930. Okay, but by mistake the gap between the 1930 and 1950 is 20 years, but by in the reading confusion I have counted it as a 10 years. Okay, so please make it a correction over there. Dates, whatever the dates I have mentioned, it is correct only, but while teaching I remember like I have by mistake I have spoken 10 years. Okay, so it is 20 years. Dates, whatever the dates I have mentioned, it is correct only. uh, while teaching the flow I have spoken as a 10 years. Okay, I hope you have understood the lecture. Thank you.